There it is. Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Pacey. I am here with New Country 105.1 at KNCI Split Screen Sessions with none other than the hometown hero, Devin Dawson.
Hometown boy in the house, dude. How you doing?
Are you in Orangeville right now, or are you in Nashville?
No, I'm in Nashville. Man, it's been a while since I've been home. I got to sneak home for Thanksgiving to see my grandpa for a little bit, but before then, I mean, probably hadn't been home in a year, and it's been since then. So,
right.
Traveling is getting a little bit better these days, and we actually have a bunch of California shows booked, which will be awesome. So I'm excited to get back and see my family because it was pretty hard just not to be able to see your people for a year, you know? So,
bro, I know. And it's like, no matter how much, Zooming and Teams meeting or whatever you use or Skype, it doesn't replace the, person to person,
it's like being in the same airspace as somebody, like as like hippie as that sounds, like you'll never replace that. And I'm thankful for Zoom because we probably wouldn't be able to do this or Zoom Labs or whatever you use. Like, so it's definitely opened some doors that we maybe didn't think were possible, but I'm ready to just like hang with people again.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah. And that's the thing is, it's funny that you say that because I feel like stuff like this was already kind of on the come up.
Mm-hmm.
We were already doing like business digitally through Skype and through Zoom, before the pandemic. And it's crazy because I kind of feel like the pandemic almost just accelerated what was already going to happen,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely opened opportunities for me. Like before quarantine, I'd never written a song unless I was in the room with somebody, And at first, the idea of being creative over Zoom was like really weird to me. But like once I figured out like how to do it the right way and that it was possible, like sometimes I even enjoy that more. Just being able to sit here in my studio and I can Zoom with someone in LA or London or whatever, and I can kind of do my own thing and then record my own track or whatever. It's actually really opened my eyes and allowed other things that weren't going to be possible before to happen. So I think it's a positive,
Yeah, I think a lot, especially I'm hearing from a lot of country writers, is that being in their own space kind of helps them be creative, instead of having to be in
safe. Yeah, there's something safe about it. And it's like, when you're creating and you're trying to do it every day, it helps to have like a ritual or the same spot you do it in so that when you go, every time I walk up to this studio, my mind clicks on like, oh, we're writing a song today or whatever, and I enjoy it. It's been cool. I think there's obviously some downsides to it, like people like singing on the same beat or whatever, but it's also been like, wow, I didn't hear it that way. And there's some challenges, but overall, I think I really have enjoyed it. So
right. Part of the question, because you haven't always had long hair like that, have you?
No, dude, it's a very new thing. I usually did like super high and tight, like really short on the sides. But over quarantine, I mean, I think we all kind of let a lot of things just go and flow over quarantine, definitely buying some bigger shirts these days.
Honestly, so you like me, you gained the quarantine 15, or actually I gained the quarantine 30, honestly.
I mean, I'm a pretty skinny boy just by nature, but sitting around and drinking beer don't really do good for many people. But it's all good. I just, wear bigger shirts. It's fine.
Exactly.
But yeah, honestly, the hair thing is more so my wife's like thing. She's like always like, you should grow your hair out. And I never really like had the opportunity to because of being on camera all the time and like all the awkward stages. And then having thick curly hair, you have twice the awkward stages that everyone else does. And so, but I've gotten past a bunch of it and I'm rocking it. I think it's cool.
I love it. I mean, as long as you're so Susie said it's the Dan Smyers hair, which is, hey, why not?
You know what? The amount of times that I have gotten, oh, you're just doing the Dan Smyers. Dan's a really good friend of mine, so like he wouldn't care. But when I went to the ACMs this year, I like made a video of like how many times I thought I was like people were either gonna say I looked like Dan or just thought I was Dan, But hey, Dan's not the only one in country music that can grow his hair out. Okay,
right? So, exactly. How many people asked you where Jay was?
Well, when my wife was next to me, so they didn't really care about where anyone else was. Like, wow, that girl's pretty.
So speaking of your wife, how is married life? How was married life during the quarantine?
Yeah, dude. It was great. It was really great. You know, it's so interesting to talk about that because so much of our relationship was based on me being gone half the time. I mean, like from our first date, you know, our whole life, our whole love story has been based on leaving, which is super like not normal. But I think what I will say is that not that there was any doubts, but it's definitely affirming when, you know, you go from being gone a lot to spending every waking hour with somebody. And it's like when you marry someone, it's not just like love you forever, but it's also like, you know, let's hang out forever, like always, you know. And so I'm just glad that I, you know, did marry my best friend in a sense, in that sense, in that we had the chance to really get to hang out for the first year of our marriage, that we wouldn't have had that before if I had been gone all the time. And so
I do feel like honestly quarantine was very make or break for relationships. You know, if it wasn't meant to be, quarantine broke you up. If it was meant to be forever, if you made it through quarantine, then I think you guys are going to make it forever.
Yeah, we learned a lot, and we did a lot of cooking and a lot of activities, and you know, we have a couple dogs. We'd always go, you know, take them on walks and things like that. So we made sure we stayed busy. But there was one thing I'll say that we got really good at is knowing how to have alone time. You know, whether it was that me going up in the studio and jamming, or her going for the dogs for a walk by herself, or me just driving on my truck just because I wanted to get out of the house and put the windows down or whatever. We were really good about knowing, because I'm somebody that like I need alone time just to be sane. And so I thought we balanced and handled that really well. So came out on top.
Honestly, that's something I learned about myself too, because I'm married, and I realized how badly I actually, because we, I married someone that works an opposite schedule, works overnights. I work during the day. Mm-hmm. And, you know, when we're both at home all the time during quarantine, that's kind of when I realized, you know, oh my God, I need my own space.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And we kind of like realized, okay, you, that's your room and this is my room. And, you know, we'll come together when we need to, but we don't always have to be attached to the hip.
Yeah, my wife and I are kind of like slightly in the process of looking for a new home. We're not in a rush, but if we find the right perfect one, we're definitely like ready to find something else. But we all laughed at, like, we've been looking at these houses, and so many of them are like open floor plans with all the walls knocked out. And we're like, man, I bet you all these people regretted having these walls knocked out during quarantine. Like, I don't want to see you from across the house. Like, I want to be in my own room, you know?
Yeah, I do feel like that's how a lot of the houses in Nashville are, because my mom lives out there. And the only space you have apart from each other are literally the small bedrooms.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so,
you designate, hey, this is my bathroom, this is your bathroom. Like, we'll just go, you know, it's all good. But
and honestly, the market out there is hot, so it's probably a little difficult to even if you find the house that you want, you're like outbid by like 40 other people.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal right now. It's cool to be, you know, it's going to be cool to be on the selling end of it. And, you know, knowing, you know, how much we made from just living here for a couple of years was just kind of crazy. But I wish I had another house I could move into so I could, like, you know what I mean? Like, read both sides of it. But yeah, it's, you know, it's actually really, I enjoy that process of trying to find a new place. And we want to have kids in the next 2-3 years. We're definitely not there yet, but if we can get into a place that we'll be happy to start a family in and just kind of get ahead of it a little bit. And I need a separate place for my studio. That's the thing. I'm in like the third floor, like landing of our house right now. And there's no like wall, and I'm up here doing vocals, like belting at the top of my lungs. And she's in her room. Like, baby, like, can you like not be screaming right now? So, but I mean, I can't complain. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what everyone is, you know, waiting for is Country in the Park. How excited are you to just get back on the road?
I mean, definitely super stoked to get back out on the road. I mean, there's things that are going to be like, man, I got to start remembering lyrics and remember how to sing for 90 minutes 4 times a week and all that stuff. But I will take all of that stress over like still not being able to play. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've done a couple acoustic things, and I've done some private things. I did like an outside writers round here in Nashville a couple weeks ago, and you don't realize the reach of what you're doing until you get to be in front of people, you know? Yeah. And singing Dark Horse and having people come up to me afterwards and talk about it, or singing a new song and people saying, you have to record that, or like, you don't understand what your music is doing until you get to hear it or see it in person, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to like be out of the vacuum, dude, be out of the black hole and like understand why I got into this in the first place, to help people or help them have fun or feel less alone or whatever, you know? But not only am I stoked to get back to play just shows in general, but just to play Country in the Park, because I've never played Country in the Park. I grew up in Sacramento, grew up in Orangeville.
Have you been to Country in the Park?
What's that? No. How long has it been going on though?
Oh God, I think we just hit our 20th anniversary.
Okay, so I definitely, I never had got a chance to go to one as a kid either. Like I've always heard about it. And when I was playing music in Sacramento, I was in like metal bands and stuff. So at that time, I was probably like just more focused on like dark clubs, you know, rather than like outdoor country festivals. But it's something that's, you know, it's a hometown famous kind of festival, I guess, or whatever. And it's just gonna be really cool to be the hometown boy doing it. You know, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Do you miss Northern California, or are you gonna be excited to come back to California?
I do miss Northern California. I don't know how family friendly I need to be, but
I mean, it is NorCal, so not entirely.
Yeah, I miss my family. I miss a certain type of medicine that I love there.
Oh yeah, it's not legal there in Tennessee yet, is it?
Not yet, no. But that don't stop us much, but it's okay.
I better
I mean, I miss that. I miss my family. I miss the scenery. The one thing I think Sacramento is really, really like special is because it's like an hour away from everything, whether it's the ocean or the city or the redwoods or the valley or whatever, you know. And I think growing up there was something not that I took for granted, but I'm lucky to have grown up in a place like that. And so anytime I go back, I just, you know, I love being there. But for me to be doing what I do, like I need to be in Nashville. And I also just love it here, the people and the pace. Yeah. But dude, I mean, I'm a California boy at heart. I will always write songs about California. I will always take California with me wherever I go. That sounds like a song kind of already right there.
Write it down. Give me the credits.
I'm writing it down. You told me I'm not rude since you said to do it. So.
Just kidding. I don't even know what it takes to write a song. I'm not gonna lie. That stuff is way beyond me. I barely know how to be a radio.
I wrote a song the other day called Western Medicine. And it's about, you know, rolling one up, listening to Merle Haggard and just watching the sunset. And it's just California vibes. And so it'll always be part of me, you know.
Dude, that's the weird thing. Like, do you ever feel like do you go around and tell people you're from Sacramento and then they kind of crap on it? Like, ooh, like who would?
Honestly, I find in the rest of the country that not a lot of people know where Sacramento is, even though it's the capital. Like sometimes I have to say like San Francisco, which is 3 hours away, but they're like, oh, right. Northern California. But no, no one really craps on it. I think people just don't realize why or that it's the capital or what it's famous for or what's around it. It's just people don't really understand. And to me, obviously it's a river town. A double river town, you know, you got the American and the Sacramento and stuff. Obviously we have sports and it's the capital and politics and food and all these things. And so I really I like spreading awareness about not only Sacramento, but Northern California in general. People are always like, you're from California, but you sing country music? Like, why don't you surf every day? And I'm like, have you ever been to California outside of LA or San Francisco?
Right.
Have you seen the farmland? Have you seen the country? Like have you heard of Merle Haggard? Have you heard of Buck Owen? Have you heard of Johnny Cash? Have you heard of Dwight Yoakam? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, so I pride myself on spreading that awareness of being proud of where I'm from, you know, in the country music sense too.
Yeah, I forget what the stats are, but I could be wrong. But I feel like I heard California farms supply like 40% of something in America. Yeah, you know? So it's like, how can you guys not have heard of that? You know, but.
Yeah, you know, I get it. You know, we're putting it up though. We're repping our block, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we are. Man, I'm so excited to have you come to Country in the Park. Have you ever performed with Little Big Town or Kip Moore?
I have actually, yeah. We've done a handful of shows with Little Big Town. We actually have the same management, and so there was a lot of shows that we've opened up for them. And then just like we've actually spent a lot of time together, and they're just the best people.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Salt of the earth people. They don't know a stranger sort of thing, you know. And then Kip and I, we went on tour towards the end of 2019, right before everything shut down. We were on tour together, and I just really respect his artistry within this genre and his willingness to just stay true to what he does. And he's just a great dude too.
You know what I really respect about him is, I kid you not, I was doing an interview with him somewhere downtown, And I literally had to wait for him to get back from the gym. That guy does not miss a workout no matter where he is.
And every time I say hi to him, I do like one of these things, you know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, you are just solid, man. Like you are just like, you are a rock, bro. And
He
I'm
really
over here,
is.
like kind of fat, skinny boy, you know what I mean?
But you know what? It's okay. Blame it on quarantine.
I just wear bigger shirts now. That's my excuse.
Right, exactly. All right, man. Well, I don't want to take too much more of your time, but thank you so much for coming on with us. And I honestly cannot wait to see. I can't wait for just to see a live concert.
I know, dude.
Yeah, you know.
I'm gonna bring the house down, dude. It's gonna be sick. We're gonna go all out, and I know I'm not headlining, but if I don't have a louder audience or clapping than Kip in Little Big Town, then we're doing something wrong. So y'all gotta come out for the hometown boy and just scream as loud as you can. So
yeah, you know, that's the thing. It's like you represent NorCal, you represent Sacramento, so people are gonna show up for you regardless. You know.
Yep, it's gonna be dope. So
a limited amount of tickets are still on sale, KNCIFM.com. Devin, you guys already sold out VIP. I don't know if you heard that.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, man. Can't wait to see you September 18th at Cal Expo, Country in the Park. See you there, man.
Oh, yeah. See you guys there. Cheers.